Hello and welcome to Meet Your District Supervisor series, where we get to know our district supervisors here in San Francisco. My name is Franco Finn. I am a native of San Francisco here, long time. Grew up in the Excelsior, now live in the Sunset. I love San Francisco. This is my home. I'm very active in our community. I'm an active San Francisco Film Commissioner for the City and County of San Francisco. But many know me as the Hypeman, the longtime voice for your Golden State Warriors, hyping up our fans each and every night at Chase Center. But I'm very involved in our community and would love to learn more about our city. And so that's why I said, hey, sign me up for this, because I want to get to know our special guest, especially our newest district supervisor, Supervisor Wong of District 4. So thank you so much for joining us.
I'm so happy to be here.
And we actually go way back and stuff. We're both actually Sunset kids, if you will. And here we are at City Hall talking about your district, where you grew up. And now let me just go over this and then make sure I didn't leave anything. But District 4 represents Central, Outer Sunset, Merced Manor, Parkside, Lakeshore Acres, and Pine Lake Park. I think I covered it all right there, huh?
Yeah, it covers it pretty much.
Yeah, well, Sunset is pretty vast. As I know, growing up there, it's one of my favorite, of course, districts, I have to say. But tell me why this is your favorite district, besides you growing up there.
The fog is my natural habitat. So when I go running along the Sunset and use the Great Highway Trail, I feel like I get free sunscreen when I go running. So I love the fog. I love how cool it is. When I go past Twin Peaks, it gets too hot for me. So I just love the temperature over there. And also, you can't ever get lost in the Sunset. Like, they're literal
Absolutely.
blocks, and the blocks are in alphabetical order.
Yes. And
so, when I was young, my mom told me, oh, like, it's all in alphabetical order. All the street names go in that way. And then this is the avenues. So that's the really nice thing about it. If you visit some of the other neighborhoods in the city, there's all these kind of twirly streets, then they curve this way and that way, and it's easy to get lost. But I just love how we're just easily organized and figure out where everything is. And also the culture, in the neighborhood, we have so many different places that have a lot of great places for food, recreation. And I can't imagine being anywhere else in the city.
Absolutely, I completely agree with you. Fog is kind of part of our lives there. When you grow up and live in the Sunset, I mean, I wear shorts in the Sunset. Let me ask you, you probably wear shorts too.
Yeah. So when I go running,
You're okay with that? It's all cool. It's good. See. You know what? It's good. And the fog is great. It's like natural air conditioning, right?
Exactly.
It's like what we like to say in the Sunset. Well, talk about how you were born and raised there, okay? So in San Francisco, your school environment. How did you get into the work that you're into now? Can you walk us through, like, what were you like in high school? Where'd you go to high school, and tell us what you like?
I went to Lincoln High School, and I also went to Hoover Middle School.
There you go.
And those are all places that many Sunset residents have gone to. For Lincoln High, it really gave me a lot of confidence when I started participating in some of the teams. I actually wasn't particularly good at any of the sports, but I was the guy for some of one of the teams. They're like, oh, okay, we got the score's already out there, but we'll put him for 5 minutes just to play a little bit. So I wasn't particularly good at anything, but being able to join the teams allowed me to be able to build up camaraderie and build up my own personal confidence, and it got me involved in student government too. So I got elected to a student government spot, director of publicity in the associate student body. So when I got in there, I wanted to make a change in our school district by looking at our building facilities, our books, all that stuff. But when I got in, I discovered that it was mostly focused on dances and posters and that sort of thing. So I was like, okay, I might have signed up for the wrong thing. So our student body president advised me, okay, Alan, you should try and go for this group called the SFGovTV Student Advisory Council instead. So it was a group that advised the school district, our school board members and superintendent on the perspective of students. So that got me into policy-related stuff in the city.
Wow, it's funny because that sounded like me, not a really good athlete in high school. So what did I do? Student leadership. But hey, you were involved, and it got you to where you are today. Let's talk about District 4. Okay, so that was your early beginnings. I mean, you know this district very well, like the back of your hand. This is home for you. What are the main priorities in your district, and what are you going to address, especially now this is your new role?
People like to have top 3 priorities whenever you're elected official. So the ones that I have called out are number 1 is public safety. Public safety is my number 1 priority, and so that includes fully staffing our police department, ensuring that we're able to recruit and retain our officers. The Sunset is a place that really values public safety. Many of our community members, they move to the Sunset and they come to the neighborhood because they want a safe and clean neighborhood, where that's a little bit quiet compared to the more busier places in San Francisco, and be able to send their kids to good quality schools in the neighborhood. So public safety is number 1. The second is allowing ordinary people and our small businesses to be able to just do basic things and survive in the city without San Francisco being overly burdensome. I think that I think for a lot of people in the Sunset, they feel imposed upon, and oftentimes they're penalized for things. And at the same time, they see that elsewhere in the city, there are many issues happening, but they see that the city is not taking care of other issues, but they're getting penalized for little things. So there's just a feeling that we follow the rules, we do everything that we need to, but we're not getting our kind of fair shake in the city. So I want to get rid of dumb laws in the city that over penalize or make lives complicated for our small businesses and ordinary residents in the city. The other thing is being able to support youth and education. I've been a city college board member. Before this, I was policy director at Children's Council of San Francisco, helping families get access to childcare, and I mentioned the SFUSD as well. So I have a passion for helping our young people succeed, because that's where it all begins, so that we have a thriving society. So helping with our 0 through 5-year-olds, helping with our K through 12 system, and also higher education, where they are able to get the jump to their careers and get workforce development.
Yeah, this is great. This amazing, pillars that you're addressing. And the college board. How many years did you serve there?
I was on there 5 before I was appointed to supervisor.
So city college board. Let's talk about the demographic in District 4 in the Sunset. You're a native from that area. What is the demographic now? And can you just share with us a little bit how it's changed, or maybe hasn't changed?
Yes. So in the Sunset, it's about half Asian, and there's another also a Caucasian population, and we got smaller proportions for our Latino and African American populations in the Sunset as well. And one thing that I've noticed in terms of demographic changes, so I grew up going to a lot of Cantonese restaurants. So there are a lot of restaurants that serve dim sum and other foods that I was familiar with. So, but more recently, maybe in the last 10 years, I noticed that there's like Sichuan food, xiaolongbao, hot pot, and then, so when I first started going to some of these restaurants, I was like, oh, I don't think I've ever had these before growing up. I mean, I thought I was Chinese, but I guess I'm not Chinese enough. So I go to these places and I realize, oh, there's all these there's an influx of people from all over China coming to San Francisco, and they bring the culture and the food that I haven't experienced before. And so we really enjoy being able to taste all of the neighborhood and seeing that influx of the new immigrants and community that's coming to the Sunset in San Francisco.
Yeah, I think it's evolving personally too. I mean, gosh, I walked down the block, I'm like, I didn't notice that one. You're right. And I grew up there most of my life. But that's good signs that there's a lot of diversity even within the Asian population in that, and hopefully continues to grow. Because sometimes I feel like it does get forgotten, don't you think? The Sunset. Let me ask you this: what's your approach in making, your tough decisions? I mean, you're new in the seat. What's your approach like? What can you tell people? Like, okay, Alan Wong is this. This is the kind of person I am when it comes to our people in the district.
For me, I was born and raised in San Francisco. Been a lifelong resident of the Sunset, and I try and ground my values on my life experiences, having been born and raised San Franciscan, somebody that has lived in Sunset all my life, and also just with parents that are immigrants, also having been serving in the military, and as a labor organizer, care about working families, and also just being an advocate for young people as well. So I try to bring my diverse policy and life experience to guide me. And at the end of the day, I need to make practical decisions that support my community. I think that sometimes there's a lot of kind of ivory tower vision on how things should be, but we need to approach policy of how it actually affects people and how it impacts people. I want to ensure that we're looking at things that are really based on how things actually work. And as a veteran, we need to in the military make decisions based on how things will actually impact people, because people's lives could be at stake if you make a wrong decision. So it can't be a book decision. It needs to be based on real life situation and pragmatism. So as a veteran, I always want to be able to view things from that lens.
From that lens, okay. No, fair enough. And it's a tough job, as we all know. It's never easy to be a district supervisor, to represent a very diverse, group of people. But talk about your staff. How did you form your staff? You want to give a shout out? I mean, you're new here. How did you assemble them? Who's in your staff? And kind of what keeps you motivated to do your job every day?
I love my team. So my first two staff, so Tiff Lee, she previously was at the Department of Elections, and she has a lot of experience doing outreach and community engagement, and so she is quadrilingual.
Wow.
Wait, trilingual actually.
Three.
That's for my next staff. So Mandarin, Cantonese, English, obviously you can read and write, Chinese, and also with my other staff, Jessica Sen, she's the one that's quadrilingual. So she does Korean, Mandarin, Cantonese, English, obviously you can read, write. And so if we ever want to organize any K-pop events in the Sunset, maybe we can do that. So
I'd like to see that. That would be kind of cool, actually.
Yeah, that'd be hot right now. That'd be kind of cool. So yeah, that's a really hot thing right now. So for them, they're working on constituent services. I really wanted to dedicate half my staff to constituent services and serving our district residents, and also being able to support many of our monolingual populations that may only speak Chinese. So it was really important to me to have language access.
Language is very important. I mean, communication, making sure that the leaders can be heard, right, and translated at least, right? Absolutely.
So those were my first two staff. And then the other staff that I have, Andrew Sin, who's my chief of staff, he was in a leadership role with 50+1 strategies before, understanding public policy, understanding advocacy. And Derek Lee also was somebody that I knew from before from 50+1 strategies. And so both of them are very keenly aware of public policy and advocacy work in the city, and I have a lot of trust in them to support me. So my team, they're all people that I highly trust and will depend on to be extensions of myself to support me in advocacy for the Sunset neighborhood and District 4.
Well, thanks for sharing that and your team, getting to know them. All right, talk about some recent maybe successes that you hope to have, and what can we see maybe in the immediate future for the Sunset? You talk about K-pop concert. We're going to have maybe a big headliner coming to Sunset. That'd be awesome. That'll bring a lot of people to our neighborhoods.
Who knows?
No, who never know. But I like your out-of-the-box thinking, though. No, but is there anything that, I know that the night markets have been a huge success. Is there anything that you can share with us that maybe you'd love to incorporate or would love to see, or is happening now that maybe people might not know about?
There's several things that I'm looking into. I'm all for win-win situations in the neighborhood, and so I understand that there's a lot of different, how would you call it, modes of transit, modalities of transit that people want to take on, and so I want to be able to support all the different transit modes, whether it be muni, cycling, driving, rideshare, shuttle, all of those things. And so one issue that I'm interested in taking on is seeing how we can expand the parking in the Sunset in a win-win situation. So there are a lot of places where we have a hard time finding parking, and how can we expand parking without having to take away from something else? And my idea is to be able to change parallel parking to either diagonal or 90-degree parking. So we're expanding the number of parking spaces in certain blocks that have large enough streets that are able to take that. And of course, I would want to get neighborhood feedback too, to ensure that people want that in the neighborhood. So also looking at maybe a continuing efforts to move forward with a shuttle through the district that people can take and go throughout the neighborhood.
That's actually a great idea too, because I mean it's so vast, right? Even within our neighborhood there in our district, there's I mean it's just hard to get from point A to point B sometimes. I mean, the streetcar's awesome, which is great, and some of the other public transportation, but
and then there are a lot of times when maybe that's the wrong way to phrase that. I grew up during a time when my family didn't have a car, and I survived on public transit for so many years. So I know every bus line in the Sunset, and I know how important public transit is. And so I'm also keenly aware of how public transit ensures that many of our communities, low-income communities especially, are able to get to where they need to go for work and anything else, and also be able to reduce congestion on our roads. So being able to support our community is also very important to me as well.
Absolutely. Thank you for sharing that. Okay, let's talk about maybe your vision. I know we talked about a little bit of this. In 10 years, where do you see yourself?
Where do I see myself? Well, right now, I'm just focusing on the job of supervisor. I have meetings from 9 a.m. to 9 p.m. in my job. And the way that I see it is like, okay, I need to be able to get on top of what I'm doing right now first before I even think about 10 years from now. For me, that's like way far out there. Yeah. I take it step by step. And
one day at a time.
Yeah, step by step. And just, in all my leadership roles, just usually somebody kind of taps me and asks me to step up. And I've been very lucky to have had that in the past. And, for me, if I do a good job doing what I'm doing, then maybe another person will ask me to step up in a different way. But I think right now, my district is my number one priority, and what I want to focus on to ensure that we're supporting all the residents of the Sunset.
Was your transition hard from going to College Board to like, whoa, I have this new office, I'm here at City Hall, and I've got a staff to build? Just talk about that briefly. How was that transition?
There weren't any surprises having been at City Hall before as staff, and at the same time, it's just the sheer volume of people and issues that I need to learn about and connect with. And that's why I'm having meetings from 9 a.m. to 9 p.m. Also on weekends, being able to go to community events and meeting with people. Yep. And I really enjoy it. There are the ups and the downs, and at the end of the day, it's the greatest honor of my life to be able to serve the neighborhood that I was born and raised in.
Absolutely. I can only imagine. And people are open to talking to you. Do you have some open office hours where people can actually drop by?
Yes, so when people contact our office, we set up coffees with them, typically on Fridays. So we set aside time where we have constituents come in and meet up with me for coffee on Fridays.
Okay, let's talk about, that's on a Friday. What about on a weekend when you're not working? Let's get to know you a little bit here as we kind of peel back a little bit. If you weren't doing anything like work-wise, obviously, on a Sunday, just open day, just you. Yeah. What does Alan Wong do in District 4?
I don't know if work ever stops, and I love it. So I'm kind of a workaholic. I'm just constantly chugging along.
Busy, like to keep things going.
But for my maybe should I call them vices? I'm still a military officer, so it's kind of still work related. So I will go running, and physical fitness has been something that I've always maintained because I want to be able to lead by example for the personnel and service members that I lead. So I need to maintain my physical fitness, go running, if you see some dude doing push-ups on the pavement along Sunset Boulevard or in the avenues, that's me.
That's you.
Yes,
so you're
yes,
out there. You're working out, and this is a regular part. We have the best parks right there, right?
Yep.
I mean, come on.
We have so many, and everybody is within a 10-minute walk to a park in San Francisco, and we've got so many great parks. We're surrounded by parks on 3 sides in the sunset.
Okay, so that's the workout part, but I focus on the eating part.
Oh,
After a nice workout, what are some of the spots that you like to eat?
Yes.
Do you like to venture and see new maybe restaurants in the area, or do
I
you
need
like
to
your go-tos?
eat my way through the sunset, so that's what I need to do. My longtime go-to spots have been, so there's Golden Island Cafe. Actually, on the day I was sworn in by the mayor, we visited that place, and the mayor and I got him to try the mango sago at Golden Island Cafe. So that's at 20th and Noriega Street. I grew up 1 block from there. I used to live on 21st and Noriega.
Okay.
And
how did the mayor like it? Good?
Yeah, he said it was good. He asked me what were the little clear things in the mango sago. So it was good. And then it's sort of like a Hong Kong dessert place.
Yes.
And if you go there late at night, there's a whole bunch of people hanging out there. Ooh. There's also one of my go-to Vietnamese spots is Kevin's Noodle House on Irving between 19th Avenue and 20th Avenue. So I go, it's just my go-to place. It's really affordable. It's good quality food. So one of my
check those out.
So some of my go-to spots for food that I just frequently go to. But I want to eat my way through the sunset.
You can
there's
certainly
so
do that.
many good spots that I haven't even experienced.
There is. Like I said, I mean, you can just take a walk, one way or another. You're like, what? What's this? What's that? Well, thanks for sharing that. I do know that the Sunset's very well known for the food and a variety of food. I mean, my gosh, like you said, you could eat your way through it. Literally every single day, you'll find something different throughout the year. Okay, we're gonna move now to something fun we like to call little rapid fire questions. All right, you ready here?
Okay.
All right, Alan, you gotta just rattle it off. I'm gonna give you an option, and you just gotta pick one or the other. Okay, ready to go?
Sure.
Here it is. Golden Gate or Bay Bridge?
Golden Gate Bridge.
Okay. What about, are you a coffee or tea guy?
Tea.
What kind of tea? I love tea.
Non-caffeinated tea, because I'm self-caffeinated.
Okay, all right. Wow, all right. So non-caffeinated tea, make sure. Okay, I love teas. Teas are like the new thing now. All right. City, or do you like the suburbs?
City of San Francisco.
City of San Francisco. What, do you like tall buildings, or do you like more like residential neighborhoods?
I like the sunset.
Great answer. And I love the sunset
That's why I love the sunset, because it's quiet and it's less busy.
Okay, what about this? Sunset or sunrise?
Sunset.
All right, good answer.
I didn't have an option there.
You didn't have an option there, exactly. Well, here, this is pretty obvious, living in the sunset. Foggy mornings or those clear skies?
Fog, please.
Fog. Carl. Is Carl your best friend?
Yes.
Carl is my best friend, too. He lives with us every single day.
Keep the area cool, please.
Yeah. All right, I'm going to go into sports here. Giants, Warriors, or Niners?
Giants.
What? No, I'm just kidding. I love the Giants, too. What about Warriors? Is that number 2?
Warriors are cool.
Okay. Just cool? Okay.
I
Are
like
they
them
number
all,
3?
so.
Okay. I'm just teasing. Of course, I have to put that on there. All right, let me ask you this. I'm a film commissioner. Can you tell me an ideal place in the sunset in your district that you would shoot a film? What would be the most iconic place you would like to shoot a film?
I think Irving Street is very representative of the Sunset neighborhood. So they should have some action film there, like, because I like Shang-Chi, they had one in San Francisco.
Yep.
But hey, let's come to the sunset. Let's do a Muni chase and crash in the sunset. Why can't we do that over in my neighborhood?
Okay, we're gonna find a director to make that happen. Okay. Last, here we go. What about this? Fast food or gourmet? Like that fine dining, or you like that fast, quick, and easy?
Not fast food, but maybe not gourmet either. So just a regular restaurant in the sunset.
A regular sunset. Okay, I'm gonna do one more here. How about this? Best view in the sunset.
Best view on a non-foggy day at Ocean Beach when the sky is purple and hazy.
Yes, which is very rare. I
Yes,
would think.
so it's a special moment.
It's a special
So
moment indeed.
When you can when you can see the sunset in the sunset.
Yes, and that's a running joke there. When it's clear skies there, it's probably scorching everywhere else, right? It's quite hot. Okay, this is the real bonus here. I'm gonna pull something fun. You know, good old fortune cookies from San Francisco, from the Fortune Cookie Company
I didn't
here.
expect this one.
Okay, well, why don't you pick, well, first off, is it strawberry, vanilla, or chocolate if you had to choose?
Strawberry.
Let me see if I have any strawberry. Yeah, matter of fact, I got one in there. One strawberry.
The
yeah,
orange one?
that's
Okay.
right there.
Okay, it looks orange, but
Well,
it's
we'll
pink
find
enough.
out. Let me know if it is. Yeah,
I'm
you
gonna
can,
eat it, right?
you can open it, eat it. Heck, you know what? I'll cheers with you. Come on. Let's go. Cheers right here.
Cheers.
Is it strawberry?
Yes, it is.
Okay, good. At least we got that
Sort
right.
of.
All right, read your fortune and let's
Be
just-
generous, and the favor will be returned.
Okay, can you apply that maybe in your day-to-day life or your role?
I think that in everyday life, if you're treating people good, then people will treat you well as well. So I think that in everyday life, or in my work as an elected official,
Yeah.
I try to treat everybody with dignity and respect. And when you do that,
Yep.
there may be times when you're aligned on issues, and there may be times when you're not aligned on issues.
Yep.
But everybody will still be willing to work with you if you're nice to them and you treat them with dignity and respect. And oftentimes in our political system today, people are so, how do you call it, polarized. It's difficult to find common ground, and it's really important to me to
Yeah.
maintain that collegiality and treating people with that, treating them as humans and with dignity and respect. So that way
That's
you're able to work together no matter what, whether you agree or disagree on issues.
That's a great way to wrap up this Meet Your District Supervisor series. Mine just says you'll make a fortune with your friend. Well, you're my new friend here. Supervisor Alan Wong, District 4, the Great Sunset, indeed. Thank you so much for joining us. And hopefully that tasted really good, and I'm about to eat this right after this. So if you want to learn more about our district supervisors, make sure to go to SFGovTV's YouTube channel. We'll have more after this. Thank you so much. All right, so sunset.